Hey guys, Drifter here. This year's Christmas video is going to be a little bit of behind the scenes of YouTube, a little insight into my life, how I do things, how I run things, and the gameplay that you're going to get to see is some very fun Advanced Warfare gameplay. I'm playing a game that I call Class Evolver, where whenever I get on a good spree or I die really bad, I'm going to swap classes. I'm going to go through my entire set just about, and I'm playing a team of mostly subscribers. I think 3 or 4 of the other people on the enemy team are subscribers, and we played in a couple of games before, and they kind of have it out for me in a good way. We've been kind of going back and forth using crazy guns. They're trying to quickscope me, get clips for their montages or for YouTube or whatever. Not a lot of objective play, but a lot of very aggressive, fun, crazy gun kind of play. So I think you're gonna like it. And the people that I'm playing against are good, so it's not like I'm going to be winning all of the time. But it's Christmas Day and there's a video. Did anybody find that unusual that I'm kind of working on Christmas Day? Or if you look at your inbox, I would bet that or your sub box, not inbox, because you don't get emailed anymore. I would bet that most of the people that you follow on YouTube have a Christmas video of some kind coming out today. And I'd probably say like 75% of commentators that I know are going to be putting out some kind of content on Christmas. And why is that? Even how is that? How can they do that when they're traveling? Well, the secret of YouTube, as I'm sure many of you already know, is that the content that you're seeing right now obviously isn't happening right now. And I didn't get up and do it this morning either. I mean, you can see the window over here. I don't know if maybe I cut that off or not, but it's dark outside. Almost all of the content you see is made the day before or the night before, or if I'm really, really far ahead, sometimes like 2 or 3 days. But unfortunately, I'm kind of in-depth is different than normal commentary. I got to get like 8 games, and then I got to edit them together and test stuff. So it's not like getting a game and talking over it. It's not like that's even easy. It took me like 20 games to get one that I was comfortable with here, but it's kind of made the day before, and it's also always on and always off. So you know that this is my full-time job and I work at this. I put in hours on this, but it doesn't matter really what day of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all the same to me. I make my own schedule. I'm my own boss. I don't work Monday to Friday. There's no weekends. Like, my wife also has an unusual job. She's a nurse, or was, but that's a different story. And she worked crazy hours, and then we would come and our off days would align on like, I don't know, like Thursday, and we'd go out Thursday night, there'd be nobody there. We'd go out Monday night, or we'd like go to the movies Sunday night at midnight, and there's nobody in the theater, and it's great. But we forget that people on a normal 9-to-5 schedule don't operate like that. They have weekdays and weekends and all these sort of things. So sometimes we'd go to a movie on Friday night and be like, oh my god, why are there so many people here? There's like 8,000, no, over 9,000 people here. How did that happen? It is impossible, because we forget that the vast majority of people work 9 to 5. And I do the same thing. Somebody asked me what day of the week it is, and I was like, Thursday. It's Thursday, totally. I don't know, I lose track of it all the time over here. And it's kind of a good thing, it's kind of a cool thing, because the majority of the things I do with my life are off schedule. I literally never drive in rush hour traffic. I never get up early to go into work. My version of early is anything before noon. I usually tell people I wake up at about the crack of noon to go do whatever on YouTube. Kind of true. And it's nice. I set my own schedule. I go off-peak hours everywhere. Lunch is going to be at like 1 or 2 when the restaurants are slow. Dinner is going to be 8 or 9 when everything's slow. Anything I want to do, I've got that opportunity, but it does come with a downside. Everything comes with a downside. Of course, you're losing touch with people, and like you want to catch up with friends or family, or you want to do something, and I'm like, man, I got Tuesday wide open. Let's do this Tuesday at 1 o'clock, and they're like, we're at work because we're normal people. We can't just take off whenever all willy-nilly like you can. And that sometimes leads to some bad impressions. It's a little bit, I got to get used to that. But on the flip side, a lot of people kind of have this impression that YouTubers do no work. That we put in like 1 or 2 hours a day, and that's kind of totally it, and we're done. And it's almost a zero effort thing, and that we're kind of like leeches on the gaming community. I've heard all sorts of insults and slurs, but that's not where I'm going here. Most of the YouTubers you see are working, they're self-employed. So they set their own schedules like I do, but they put in some honest to goodness work, and they're kind of always on. So it's kind of like a persistent online personality. On me personally, I try to have one video ready every single day. It doesn't matter if it's Sunday, or if it's Tuesday, if it's Wednesday, if it's Labor Day, if it's Christmas, it's whatever. It's a video ready. Thankfully, I can schedule ahead. I can stock up. I did that recently when I went to Mississippi to help put my grandmother in a home because she's aging and she has dementia. I had to make like 10 videos ahead of time, which took an astonishing amount of work, but that's that's kind of gloating. But you're kind of always like, the phone is always going. Twitter is always on. You always have to be tweeting to stay relevant, talking about things, making videos, brewing up new kinds of content. So even if when I'm totally disconnected, unplugged from the computer and moved far away, I still have a video ready every single day that has to be going on that day. So I always have to be thinking in my head, the gears, this is the crazy symbol, let me do that. The gears always have to be churning, planning some kind of content, thinking about something to have going on the channel, so you're always on. It's not like a hard on, not like hard on, okay. Not what I meant to say. It's not like manual labor, you know, where you're slaving away all day. It's not like construction. It's not like, you know, being a medical professional in the ER. But it's it's kind of like a creative job. Like if you work in advertising, you probably understand this really well. Or if you're a consultant, you can just be at home in the shower, like taking a poop or walking the dog and just kind of thinking, trying to solve that one problem that you couldn't figure out. And it's definitely odd, but I also get the perception, a lot of my friends and family think that I literally do nothing and that I can just take off whenever I want. That just like doesn't matter. I can get up and just crank out a commentary in 2 hours and everything will be fine. That's unfortunately not true. And it's kind of weird because at the same time when the normal people, they like my friends or family, they want to do something like, all right, man, it's Saturday, let's go boating. I'm like, sorry, I can't. I got like 3 videos I need to schedule for this thing, and then I got to research that. And they're like, what do you mean, man? It's Saturday. You can do whatever you want. Or like, why not just put that off till later? And my answer is like, okay, how about you just don't get paid for the next week? Just throw away all your money, because the thing about having an off schedule is you have it on off days. Again, it doesn't line up people with other people in a bad way. And you have to have that self-motivation to like make yourself work Sunday afternoon, or like just when you shouldn't be working, like, you know, 3 in the morning, you got something to do, or you're behind, you just got to do it and make yourself do it. And that's kind of how it is. Self-employment's like that. So yeah, life can be kind of weird like that, but can also be weird with travel. Sometimes I get like phone calls and it's like, hey, can you be in New York in 2 days? And it's like, I've got no videos ready, and you're just be lucky I've got no plans because I'll be there. Or you'll get a phone call, can you be in this city? Can you do this thing? Can you make this appearance? Blah, blah, blah. And I've got a lot of flexibility in that, but it takes some work to kind of juggle things around. But it's a very hectic, kind of chaotic sort of thing. And because I can never, like, it's not like I can build months or years in advance on YouTube. You do a couple days in advance, or maybe a week at most, because you have no idea what's going to be popular on what days. And you also have to keep yourself kind of open for these crazy travel moments, for these last minute sort of deals. It kind of gives me the inability to plan or think ahead very much. This drives my wife bananas because she's a big planner. She likes to have everything planned out ahead of time, to book the hotel 6 months early, to plan the travel, to like do all this. And I just can't, like, I can't book things 6 months from now because I don't know where I'm going to be 2 weeks from now. Literally, I have no idea what's going to be happening 2 weeks from now. I don't have that kind of stability in my life. I just kind of write it out. So there's that. It's kind of chaotic, but overall it's been very fun and very good. You know, I've mentioned some downsides, but by and large, I enjoy what I'm doing. I love the kind of offbeat schedule, the flexibility to be a night owl if I want to. I'm definitely a night person. Mornings are really not for me. Getting a little bit off topic here, but that's kind of a little behind the scenes into my life and kind of what's going on. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something useful. I hope you had a little fun with the gameplay, and I hope you have a Merry Christmas. Drifter out.